Hey guys, welcome to my newest video. Thank you for clicking on it. What is going on? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Welcome to my Saturday video. Saturday is just where I do kind of like whatever I want, whatever video I feel like. And today I thought I would do a pros and cons of living alone. So some of you guys may know, about a little over a year ago, I moved into my parents' house and I moved in with my best friend Alyssa. And then about last May, which was about, let's see, June, July, August, it was a little over 3 months ago, I moved out and I now live alone. And I thought that today I would just tell you guys like the pros and cons of what it's like versus living with a roommate and living with your parents versus living alone now and having to do everything on your own. So how about we go ahead and get started? I think it's gonna be pretty interesting, mostly because I do have a couple stories for you guys regarding like the pros and cons of this place. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So one of the main pros of living alone is definitely having like the independence and freedom of being on your own, and it makes you really feel like a grown-up, which is what a lot of us younger generation kids just want to feel. We just want to feel like a grown-up and adult, and it's definitely like a really important milestone for me, living on my own and having everything be under me and just feeling super independent. I actually really love it and I consider this a really nice pro. However, there's also a con to this, because being independent and being considered a grown-up and adult comes with you paying for everything. And I'm not just saying like the rent. This comes with utilities, your internet, electricity, your gas bill, your water bill, and not just the bills, but it comes with everything that you own is your thing to do. You have to buy your own food, you have to cook your own food, you have to make sure that you have all your toiletries and toilet paper, soap, and it's just those little things that start to add up, and every time you turn around, you are out of something and you need to go buy something, because that's just how it is. So like once you buy one thing, something else runs out, and it's just like a constant cycle that I consider a con, especially dealing with it on your own and not having someone like help buy you the stuff or help remind you what you need. It's just all on you to remember all this stuff and to continuously just keep going. It's like a race that you can't win. So another really cool pro is that I get to just play whatever music I want and as loud as I want. Not saying that I blast it, because I do have neighbors that are like right next to me, but I am able to just play my music and I don't have to feel like I'm bothering anyone with like what kind of music I'm playing or how loud it really is. But also another con would be that I can't blame anyone for how dirty my house is. Like, and I think I've talked about this before in one of my previous videos, but honestly, like, if it's dirty, who am I gonna blame? Coda? I can't blame anyone except myself if the house is dirty. If the kitchen's gross or if the bathroom's disgusting, that's my own fault. It kind of makes you realize how dirty you are as a person. Like, all this time you're living with other people and you're like, oh, it's not me, it's so-and-so, or nah, I'm not dirty, that's him. No. Then you start to figure out that it's actually you, because you're realizing how dirty it gets so quickly with just you. So clearly you're the issue. One of the best pros is definitely having Coda get to live with me. Now this isn't really something that everyone can relate to, but when I lived with Alyssa, I couldn't have Coda because the apartment I was living in didn't allow it. And so at the time he was living with my parents. But once I moved here, come here, I was able to bring my puppy Cody here, and it has been so great having him. However, ever since having him, I do think that my neighbors have come to hate me. And I'm gonna tell you guys why. Coda, do you wanna tell them why my neighbors hate me? So, when I first brought Coda here in like, maybe like the beginning of June, around the end of June, I had gotten a complaint from my leasing office telling me that they were getting the disturbances from Coda and that he was barking super loud, and it was always when I wasn't home. So like, how am I supposed to fix something that I wasn't home for, right? So I didn't really know the extent of what he was doing while I was gone. So as soon as I realized that Coda was disturbing the people around me, I immediately bought a Nest Cam, which is basically a security camera, to see what he was doing while I was gone. And I also bought him a spray collar. Let me show you guys what the spray collar is. So the spray collar here, this is not a shock collar. This is not even a vibrating collar. It doesn't hurt him. Basically, when he barks, it sprays this spray. He doesn't like it. He gets mad at me. It sprays this spray, and it's completely, it doesn't harm him, doesn't hurt him. It just kind of reminds him not to bark. But let me tell you guys what he did after I bought this spray collar and also bought the Nest Cam. So as you can see, that is why I think my neighbors hate me, because I think I would hate me if I was the neighbor hearing that in the middle of the day. And even if he's been doing that at night, I feel so bad for people who have been hearing that at night. Like, that is just horrible. And so I think he's been a lot better now that I have the camera and I can watch him, and I constantly remind him that I'm watching him. Like, I'll be in like the middle of like the store and I'll be like, I'll go on my phone and go, hey Coda, what are you doing? He gets so scared. It's so mean. And another con of having Coda with me is that I do have to take him outside, you know, like 3 or 4 times a day to go to the bathroom and just to go outside and go for walks, which has been great because I think it gets me out too. However, one of the cons is that I do get really scared when I go out because the area that I live in, there are a lot of homeless people, and it's not the homeless people that scare me, it's that a lot of them are not sober and they are very unstable. And I have been harassed a couple times by them, and it's been very scary. And so going out there always kind of freaks me out, especially at night, because I just get really nervous around them because they're very unpredictable sometimes. I've seen some really scary things out there. So that's definitely one of the cons, and it's not like anything I can do about it because it's off my apartment grounds. But yeah, so taking Coda out is a lot scarier. I definitely always bring like my pepper spray. Coda's not the best guard dog, you know, he's a really nice dog. Anyway, so that's another con, but let's go and go to another pro. I feel like sometimes this video gets too negative, so let's go into a pro. Something else that I really love about living alone is that like my routine doesn't bother anyone, it doesn't affect anyone. So like I do have a lot of routines, and I really base things off of having a routine and like a schedule on myself because it's the only way that I'm gonna get things done. And I'm just glad that like my schedule is based off how I wanted it to be. I didn't have to change it for anyone or alter it or anything like that. And so just like no matter what, my routine works because no one can interfere with it because I live alone and no one comes over. So another con that I'm gonna bring up, is actually even the last con I bring up, is that what's really cool about living alone is that you do get to buy all the food and all the food is yours. However, a lot of food goes bad, especially when you live alone and you think, oh yeah, I'll finish all these grapes, and then of course you don't, and they get all moldy and gross. So like no one's there to help you eat all that excess food or even like the leftovers. And if you're like me, I don't eat leftovers. I honestly, there's very few leftovers I'll actually eat. So a lot of my food just goes bad or goes to waste, and makes me feel bad because I feel like such a wasteful person. But it's just one of the cons of living alone is that a lot of the food goes bad, and what are you gonna do about it? Okay, well, as you guys can see, there are lots of pros and cons of living alone, and I definitely just want to say that like the pros do outweigh the cons, because living alone has just been one of the best experiences ever. I mean, you get to feel something that you don't get to feel when you live with roommates or with your parents, and you just get to feel very independent, and you know, you get a lot of time to yourself, which like I said, it can be good and bad, but as long as you get yourself out, like it's not like I'm inside 24/7. I go out and I have people that I see, and I go to the gym a lot. So I think it's important that you at least get out sometimes, because then it kind of like outweighs that loneliness and boredom, and it makes you get out and do things. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, give it a nice thumbs up and leave a comment down below about what are you most excited about if you're going to be living alone someday in the future, or if you already are living alone, what do you love most about living alone? And subscribe to my channel for more videos. I post videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and I'm gonna see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.